Well, hi there everyone, and welcome back to Infinity, where I am down here in a tunnel. You'll recognise this. This is the tunnel that I set the tunnel bore off digging last episode. The tunnel bore did really well, actually. It dug this great long tunnel. It got all the way up to here. I've just marked it off with these 2 blocks of diorite. I'll go all the way back through it soon, but if we just come on a little bit further, you get to here, and you go up, hop, 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 and you are at the quarries. There we go, here are the quarries. And the factory is all the way back over there. It eventually gave out when that iron tunnel bore head died, basically. So let's get around. Let's just head up into the quarries just for a second. So I'm really happy with that. I now have a little railway track which goes all the way from the factory to here. Now I just need to jazz it up. Just while we're here though, I just want to hop into the quarries, see what they have been doing. I have got project benches everywhere now. You can see how this has got on. It has got on pretty well getting all of this stuff out. I've been repeatedly picking up gravel from here. This is getting pretty full, actually. It's getting quite a bit of stuff out. There's another piece of charged quartz there, and it's not very far down. And it's not working massively fast either, because these things are horrifically slow. And for my next quarry, I'm going to do something an awful lot better. But the reason I'm here is because this one, this here better barrel, has filled up. So I just want to make a quick improvement to it, and the quick improvement I want to make to it is an upgrade. You can see you can get all these upgrades from Jabba. They are right there. There are many of them. To apply the upgrade, you need the structural upgrades first. It gives you the slots you can see. So the basic one is just planks with fences. The second tier one is iron with fences. So I've got a pair of those. All that you do is you right-click them on, because this one is completely full for 1,096 out of 4,096, 64 stacks. So all the extra cobble's going that way. I am collecting cobble a bit at the minute. So if I just shift right-click that on, you can see it has applied it. There is one upgrade slot. I shall probably put the other one... Well, the limestone's the one that's filling up the fastest, but I don't really care about limestone, so I'm going to put it on the dirt just because I have it. Then I'm going to put a Mark II upgrade. You can see that's given me 3 slots to play with, and I only have actually 2 upgrades, because that's all the iron I had. So I'm going to put both the upgrades on this one. Shift click again, you can see this can now hold 128 stacks. So that's twice as many as it used to, and now 192 stacks, 3 times as many. I can hold 12,000 cobblestone in that. In case you're wondering why I'm collecting it all in something like this, it is because I can move this around with one of those dolly things I was using, so I can collect tons of stuff together in one place. Let's have a quick bit of carrot juice and head on back to the tunnel what I dug. Is it still daytime? It is still daytime. It is about midday. That is good. I now have to remember where my thing is. Is that a... That's a slime. I have found a slime. This is a slime biome. All that time I spent working, trying to get bits of blood, and there was a slime here all the time with troll faces, which I could have just been battering to death and getting slime balls and hats absolutely everywhere. That is ridiculous. If I'd found you earlier, I could have saved an entire episode, slime. Right, fine. I don't care. We have a tree here as well. What's this? An almond tree. Nice. I will start my tree collection soon. But not just at the minute. Let's go back down and through the tunnel. So here's the tunnel. I will run down it. So you can see it will need quite a bit of work to prettify it, because it certainly is not very pretty, but it is a very straight, very long tunnel, and if we Keep running, keep jumping. You can see I had a few problems just here. This is actually right underneath the river, you can see on the mini-map. I was below the level of the river, I got it the right height. Unfortunately, everything along here was gravel. So it just dug into the gravel, it fell, it dug more gravel out, and then water poured in. As it has done here, because it also came out into this ravine. And look at how close that was to being sort of the perfect positioning. Now I'm actually going to leave this as it is, because I think that makes quite a scenic little addition with all the vines and everything. I did have to come around it when I saw what it did, and I just built this little quick diorite bridge across here so it didn't fill the entire thing with gravel. You can see where I chopped out around the side just there. All the excitements of building a tunnel. Right, we hop up these steps and you know exactly where we are. We are back inside the train station, which is still nothing like completed. So everything is still carrying on here just about as it was. I think they're getting on, yeah, they're digging in this path quite nicely. This is coming along quite well. Let's head on upstairs because the next thing which I want to do is working on some way to get minecarts from this end to that end, because obviously it isn't going to work without things like booster tracks, say, to actually get me along. I do want to ultimately use the high-speed rails, but that is a little way in the future. I'm just popping in here because I can't think if I've left the standard rails in here. I also have iron down here. That is excellent. I didn't know I had that in here. Anything else which I should have had upstairs? I think that's it. Quick check on how we're getting on. That's good. We have 6 steel ingots, tons of creosote. And all is good. Let's head on back upstairs and let's start making a few things. Right. Oh yeah, up here there's been a slight change. I've started to build a sort of bit of a little building around the stairs, because you can't have that completely open to the elements. That would be silly. So we've got a sort of opening going on there. This hill's gone back a little bit as well. There is a windmill turning up there because I ran out of power. There is a surprise. I have been up to those quarries and you can see I pulled a load of iron out because I was pretty much out of iron, to be honest. Which ain't good. Right, let us get back on to some railcraft and back onto some trackage. Obviously what I want to make to start with is the booster tracks. The booster tracks are quite easy. They need advanced rails, they need those wooden rail beds, and they need redstone. That means I'm going to need to make up some more rail beds, won't it? Never mind. The advanced rails are the standard rails with redstone and gold. You get 8 advanced rails in the rolling machine. So we have got 24 rails, we have got plenty of gold, and we should have quite a bit of redstone kicking about, he says, very hopefully. Ooh, have I just gone and used up all of my redstone? I have got 13 pieces, which should just about be enough. The other thing which I will want will be the... when I can find it... the locking track. This one requires the advanced rails as well, with another piece of redstone, a pressure plate and a wooden rail bed. Right, so we can quickly make up the pressure plate, I guess. Which is smooth stone, isn't it? Do I have any smooth stone cooked off just at the minute? I do. Smooth stone. Pressure plate. So that's a start. Right, let us go and have a quick sleep, and I'll see you in the morning to go and make stuff. Okay, good morning. It is morning, and I have been down and picked up the rolling machine, which is a very useful thing to have. So, I need some advanced rails. Let us get 2 sets, 3 sets. Let's go crazy. If I've got enough redstone for that, I don't. I've only got enough redstone for 2 sets. So 2 sets it shall be. There is set the 1, and if I click that again, I shall get set the 2. 2 sets of advanced rails, pick you out, and get all my stuff back. Right, then the next thing which we need is to turn this stuff into actual rails. So for the booster track, all that I need is a wooden rail bed and the redstone. So that means we are going to have to go down and creosote ourselves up once again. So let us get down and back into the foundry. Right. Wooden rail beds. These are very easy. I should have... it's the creosote buckets which I need to make these, isn't it? So I'm going to need 2 sets. If you haven't seen, I have put this here crafting station here, so that I can do this extremely easily. If only I didn't have quite so much junk on me, it would be even easier. So that's 4. I need 8 of these. Seven and number 8. All that I need to do then is put those into a circle, and I get my wooden rail beds. Now I just need to craft these up. All that I need to do then for my booster tracks is advanced rail beds, 1 of those and 1 of those. One of those was redstone, I hope. Was it at the bottom? There we go, a booster track. The other thing which I want to make is a locking track, which was probably the other way up from that. We will soon find out. The detector track is not what I wanted, it's the locking track. I've put the standard rails in, which would be very silly, when what I want is the advanced ones. There we go, that works a lot better, and there is a locking track. The other thing I might just as well make up is just a few pieces of redstone torch. That will do, and a couple of buttons will be the best thing. I don't know why I just picked up the cobblestone to try and do that. What I'll probably do is make a wooden button, actually. There we go. I'll keep that on me. I will take that out because I really don't need it. We could use some of that down there. Time for a big sort out soon, I thinks. Right, let us go down because I think I've got everything which I need now, except possibly a minecart. Except possibly, here we go, a minecart. I'm going to make up 2 just for that time when the first one goes horribly, horribly wrong. Now, I think I'm actually completely out of tracks, so I'm going to have to start this down at the bottom and then move it up, which is no great biggie. Let's run down here and give it all a try. Right, down at the bottom here, what I'm going to do then is wonder why on earth I don't have my crowbar on me, which would be the obvious thing to have. So we can start off though with the booster tracks, which will just be there like that. Now, really I don't want to put them all the way down, because pretty much as soon as I get down here I want to start putting high-speed railway in. Obviously those need to be powered. So I think my crowbar is in one of these chests down here. I mean, this does sort of work. I will take that. It is slowing down ever so much now. World's slowest train ride. There's a load of junk in there. Right, is it all the way down here? There is my crowbar all the way down here. Now, is there actually a crafting station down here? There probably is. There is. Right, so if I just get myself together a few levers, they would be very useful as well. So what I'm going to do is put in a few booster tracks down here, because that would be really good as well. So booster track, and what I can just do obviously is pop a lever down. I'll pop a redstone torch on that one. Pop a... where are we? A lever on that one. Let's head on up to the top here, because I now have a few rails. I will need to build a proper... oh, we don't quite make it all the way to the top anyway, do we? Right, 4 more bits of track. Well, that gets us out to here. That will do me. I'm now going to pop down one of these locking tracks. Well, what these do, I'm going to hit it. They have a few different ways of working. I want it in boarding mode, facing that way. Now what happens is, if I pop down a couple of bits of, let's go for this, just like that, and then pop a button on it, when I press the button, that will fire, and it'll shoot whatever's there off in that direction. It will hold... let's get some of this out of the way. It will hold that there, like that, until it actually gets the signal. You cannot push that. Okay? But if I get into it and push the button, then I shall be off at high speed, which shall be maintained hopefully by these little booster tracks. And this will be where the high-speed railway network will come in. But for now, that I think will be it for this episode, guys. We have a working railway. It's not exactly the fastest railway in the world, but here we are at the other end already, and even just with that I'm going to go flying off the end here. Ouch. But even just with that, you know, it is plenty good enough to get me from one end to the other a lot faster than I can walk, or than my Archimedes ship will go. So thank you very much for watching. I do hope that you enjoyed this episode. As ever, do like, subscribe, and most importantly, come back again next time. Thank you, and goodbye.